Good evening and welcome to Awakening Wednesday. So grateful to have you with us this evening, virtually, in spirit and in joy, and in 2025. Whoo, take a deep breath on that. And once again, we have our amazing gift to us in the house. Selena Maitreya is with us tonight, and what a beautiful gift to have her consciousness as we open up 2025. And this is our first Awakening Wednesday for the new year. So excited about that. And for those of you that have not heard yet, I don't know how it's possible. We are moving. February the 2nd will be our first gathering in our new home. So for all of you, anyone that has any kind of expertise in construction or wants to participate, maybe bringing lunch to those that are working, we are looking for volunteers from all aspects. So please, if that is you, don't let this opportunity pass you. Also coming up, we have a wonderful monk that is coming our way. Brian is coming here not next Wednesday, but the following, January the 22nd. And he's going to take us through our transcendental meditation and yoga practice. He will be in-house. He's a traveling monk. And what a great opportunity as we open up in 2025 to have this consciousness filling us up with all that there is and new possible practices that we can participate in. And last but not least, we are continuing with mindful moments. What? At 3 o'clock everywhere, whether you can come on Instagram Live with us or not, at 3 o'clock, the request is stop at 3 o'clock. Activate a new thought and elevate the loving frequency that you are to a higher level of love, appreciation, and acceptance. It is really powerful. It's been changing me in many different ways, and it's every day at 3 o'clock. So I hope you join in and take the opportunity to unplug from the world at 3 and plug in to infinite source, deeper and in a much more awareness and observing where and how you are in the world today. I don't have a slide for this, but some of you know we are doing a shoe drive here at USC, Universal Spirit Center. And the shoe drive is to help support our move. So we're working with funds2org, which is an amazing organization. And any shoes that you have, gently worn or new, not the ones that you don't want to wear and you know nobody else would want to wear, but gently worn or new, bring them to the center Sunday morning or Wednesday evening from 5 to 8. Drop them off. This is a great opportunity to let the people that you work with get involved, your friends, your family. And what this organization does, they take these shoes and then they distribute them to over 20 different countries where people utilize these shoes to sell, to create income, to take care of their family, to build community. We also, Universal Spirit Center, it raises money for us as well. So it is a win, 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 win. So we'll be doing it, and it's by the pound. We want to get 130 bags. So it's by the pound. We've gotten a nice kickoff, but we've got to dig in and do more. So excited about that, the shoe drive, and it's on the web page. You can find out any information about the organization. It's really great. So you go to our web page, universalspiritcenter.org. And now, after all of that, let me woo-saw and bring in the wonderful, delightful Selena Maitreya. Hi,
Well,
Selena.
hey, Gino, good to see you.
It is great to see you in
Thank you.
2025.
Absolutely. I want to just, I know we haven't started our regular conversation, but I want to share with you and everyone listening that I have so enjoyed tuning into all of the gatherings on Sunday and the Christmas gathering. I'm watching all of it. I have been for months, and it's just I've been doing the 3 minutes at
Oh,
3 o'clock
yeah.
every single day. I've shared that with many people. I did a whole a note on my list about that. And I love that. And I wanted to thank whoever the powers that be that created that. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for us to all gather in the oneness. So thank you
Well,
for all of
I thank you. I wanted to be a part of the solution after the election. And this is my way of contributing. And then
that.
my
Beautiful.
wonderful Kathleen came up with Activate and Elevate, and I've ran with that. I love it. And so Kathleen, Pat, and myself, our Racial Equality Project, we have given birth to that, and it really is. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to remind yourself that your energy is really palpable, and you can change it. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for that. Didn't realize that you had come up with that, Gino, but I'm very, very grateful, and I've shared it with many people. So we got a lot of good energy coming out because of that effort that you put into that. Thank you so much.
So how are you feeling for 2025?
I am totally pumped. The 2025 is a 9 year because when you take the numbers together through numerology, which I
Okay,
am not
yes.
totally proficient in, but I've spoken to my friends who are, and they've informed me that it's a 9 year, which really involves a lot of endings and beginnings.
Yes.
So I love that. I think when we have ending a year that is all about endings and beginnings, we live in flow. We have the potential to be even more, and we're invited even more, I believe, into the energy of flow. And so I'm very pumped for 2025. I really believe we all have an opportunity to create the year we want. And that is always exciting.
That is always exciting.
How about
And
you?
I'm very excited. Being in this space of being the solution, it really pulls my coattail because I dropped out of all of mainstream. And it has just been, even when friends start to try to get that cattle going, I've been able to recognize my triggers and recognizing that in 2025 it's about having fun. It's about having fun every day, and in that vibration is such a high vibration that more things that you want to do get completed. All of the universe conspires to rush in to you because energy is really where we are living at, whether we're aware of it or not. Our energy is creating. And so I want to remember that 2025 is about having fun. It's about feeling good. And if those things aren't happening every day, then I am absolutely creating something that does not feel good. And so that's kind of my challenge for the year, to be aware of that.
I think that's a beautiful gift. I think that's absolutely wonderful. When you bring up the idea of fun and joy, right? Sometimes,
Yes.
and I've noticed this in myself as well, sometimes we can get very, spirituality is a serious act. It really asks us to be intentional and to be consistent and to be action oriented. And I love the idea of fun and joy because what do we do then? Then we're placing ourselves in receivership. And when we place ourselves in receivership, we're opening up to the divine in a very different way than we are perhaps when we are creating intentions and looking at where we're triggered and moving forward with action around our intentions and creating clarity. So it's a different type of energy, but it places us in receivership. And one thing I've noticed about myself and my students and many deep spiritual people is that we're very often so willing to be there for others, but placing ourselves in receivership is not necessarily something that comes natural to us. So I love that. That sounds great, Gino. Thank you for that teaching.
Just when you said that about loving ourselves, there is an unknown quote that I found that I love. It says, "We have so much love in our hearts. Let's give some to ourselves." I was like, oh,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. We have so much love in our heart. Let's give some to ourselves. I was
Yeah.
like, that's it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, positively so. And it's so interesting how we have to choose to do that. We have to make a choice, a conscious choice, which is perfect because today we're talking about living in conscious awareness.
Yes.
But we have to make a conscious choice to give to ourselves. And we all work on the equation of either giving to others so much that we have to choose to give to ourselves, or giving to ourselves so much that it becomes a piece of awareness that we have to choose to give to others. I personally want to sign up for where I'm at. I have to choose to give to myself, but I want to do that. And I think that that's such a beautiful gift you've given us with this year of joy and fun, because that's a reminder I think we can't get enough of.
Absolutely, absolutely. It truly is. And, you know, divine lights like yourself that are prepared, you're prepared to share this beautiful gift of energy and light. And I've been seeing all the wonderful things that you've been doing, and it's just really wonderful to know that there are so many that are ready for the shift that is taking place in this year that can hold this light and lead through. So it really gives me a great sense of peace and security.
Thank you for that. And it's true because we are in the shift. It's not about to happen, it's happening, right? And what I love about what Spirit said about the work that we've been sharing with the community here, the work we'll be doing in March when I come for
Yes.
a visit, is they call the people who take on this work, everybody who chooses to listen to the podcasts we do, who chooses to take the information we share and put it into their lives, they call us energetic alchemists. And I
Mm.
love that because,
Wow.
right?
Say that again. That is awesome.
Yes, they call us energetic alchemists. When
Wow.
we choose to work with frequency and we choose to notice our frequency and shift it, we are energetic alchemists, because they
Wow.
say that years ago, alchemists were asked to transform physical entities into others. They would transform silver into gold, or they would
Right.
transform um, one type of material into another. But they've shared that every generation that's born has the opportunity to be more conscious than the generation before, simply because of the era that they were born in. And when I think back, I've mentioned this before, I think I'm going to be 70 in March. And
What?
I know, is that a crazy number?
Spectacular.
70.
You look
Oh,
marvelous.
oh, darling, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You do. You
Um,
look fantastic.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. It's helpful when you're coming up to a big number. But what they shared was they said, Selena, think back to when you were a little girl. And when I was a little girl, my dad's best friend was a man named Eddie O'Neill. And he met Eddie in the Navy in the Korean War. And Eddie at that point was a chiropractor. But you whispered that 50 years ago, because 50 years ago, where I grew up on the eastern tip of Long Island, which in New York, which was farm country, there were no chiropractors, there were no
Mm,
yoga centers. And so he was treated as a witch doctor in those days. But look how in 50 years, Spirit's saying, each generation has evolved, and now we have Universal Spirit Center. We have
mm,
yoga centers on almost every street in our city. We have chiropractors and acupuncturists who are now able to take insurance. We have people who have evolved spiritually over the generations. So they say each generation has the opportunity to be more conscious than the generation before, should they choose to go there. And so now, as we work as alchemists energetically, that's where we're asked to work. We're not asked to transform physical elements into another. We're asked to notice what vibration we're holding, and then we're asked to transform any low frequency into high, because not only does that create peace in our world and increase our consciousness in the process, but it doesn't, our energy is no longer polluting the field, it's adding high frequency to the field of oneness. So we are energetic alchemists as we take on this work. And I loved that.
I love how you said that we're adding. You didn't. I hadn't thought of it in that way, but how powerful that is because we are, and consciousness is rapidly changing. So this energy that's happening through each and every one of us, we are all contributing. I love that, like you said, there's a yoga studio everywhere, and people are comfortable, more comfortable with talking about spirit and source and angels and entities, all these things that at one time, if you talked about or if you practiced, you were considered crazy or a witch.
Hmm.
And so now we've come to a space of being more understanding of things that we do not know
Hmm.
and or that we have not understood. So it is really amazing. I'm looking forward to see how energy, everybody's talking about energy, but how it really starts to evolve. It's been here. It's like when they talk about our technology. The technology has been here. We're just now getting up to speed with it
Hmm.
and how to utilize it, and we're still not there yet. So this energy that is a power within us, you think of some of the cartoons, the Power Rangers. Each of the Power Rangers had a
Yep.
different power that they could set into motion. And if we start really understanding that we are our own little Power Rangers, we have the power within us through our energy to create anything. So, yeah.
We do. We're absolutely spot on because we're energy projectors and receivers. So this energy that we are, the high frequency energy that we are, and the low frequency energy
Yes.
projects out. It doesn't stay within the confines of the temple of our body. It is projected out, and it's always we're receiving energy. And of course, we know that what we are holding in energy attracts what we're receiving. So,
Yes.
absolutely, positively, I love that. And it's interesting. You can look at advertisements, you can listen to news announcers. They're all using words like frequency and energy and vibration, and they're using it because it's now becoming part of the vernacular. It truly
Yes.
is. And it gives us this opportunity where the mystery is no longer foreign to people. And as things become more familiar, as we use energy, the energy shifts, and so do we. So it's a much more open-armed world toward spiritual ideas and concepts, and it allows all of us to project into that even more. So because of the awareness that so many people over the last 50 years have taken on, have chosen to cultivate, we've moved forward. And as people have been born in each generation, they've had the opportunity to be aware of it and cultivate it and become even more aware. I mean, I think back also to the generation of our parents around issues like seatbelts and smoking. When I was a kid, it was a big deal to sleep on the shelf behind the back seat of the car when we were going to pick up my grandparents in New York
Wow.
City. But who would have thought back then that there was something unsafe about that? And so we've been educated in lots of different ways, and now we're being educated with vibration. And so I love that. I absolutely love that.
And so I love your title today, what we're talking about today. The importance of living our daily life from conscious awareness. I think you've just stepped us right into what we've been talking about before. And I love this, the daily life, the everyday, the waking up in the morning, the lunchtime, just this constant awareness of where we are every day. So I love that. I love that that's the topic for today.
Of course you do, because that's how you live your life. That's why you love this program. Exactly. That's why one of the many reasons I love you. So it is exactly what we've been doing here for 9 months. We've been sharing information to help the community understand and choose if they'd like to use their difficulty in their life, their daily life events, the times when pinch points happen or people say things and the ego within us responds from not a positive place. That's what we've been sharing. How to become more aware, how to become more conscious. And Spirit says, prayer and the gatherings at the center on Sunday and throughout the week, the prayer we do individually, the meditation, the yoga we choose to do, all of that is beautiful because it helps us as life streams to access the divine. But Spirit says the work of the divine happens in our daily life. Because there's no work when you go to meditation except to, if you're new to it, to be comfortable
Right?
with it. There's no work with prayer because with prayer you go and you proclaim. There's
Yes.
really no work with yoga once that stops being a little awkward if you start out new. But there is work in our daily life. It is work to become conscious. And that is where we really make significant changes. So, the importance of living our daily life from conscious awareness is indeed our title.
Yes.
And it kind of wraps up, if you will, everything we've been talking about in the last 8 or 9 months.
I mean, it really does put it in a beautiful basket. For those of you that have been following us, and I know some of you have, March is coming, and our sweet Selena is coming here in March in person in living color. She will do one of our Sunday gatherings. We will probably do a Wednesday, and then we will end with the 2-day workshop that is going to be phenomenal. And so, as you've been following us, this thought process of understanding that it is a daily practice, that it's not just a Sunday or a Wednesday, it's how you're living every day. And I love that Selena's recognizing that consciousness is moving in that direction, moving from a group or people that used to just go to church on Sunday and it was sufficient, and the rest of the week all downhill, or then Sunday to Wednesday. But now people really understanding that their personal connection, their personal awareness is their greatest gift. And this teaching that Selena has been walking us through over the last year, really preparing us mentally, physically, and in our awareness that the practices that she's offered us to do to help us be in the now more frequently. I think it's one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves is to be in the now more frequently. Doesn't mean we do it all the time, but the more we are aware of being in the now moment, being in the awareness of where we are, how we're living, what we're putting out to the world, what we're attracting back from the world, that is palpable and powerful, and that's the importance that she's talking about today.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when we are living in conscious awareness, what does that mean, conscious awareness? I'm I'm using the phrase conscious awareness, and in the way that I'm sharing it with everyone, conscious awareness represents being in our highest knowing, engaging with the highest knowing within us, the spiritual aspect of us, our intuitive body. And when we're in the intuitive body and that is activated and we actualize it in our life, we become that because we become whatever energy we're in. And if you remember, we've shared this many times, Gino and I, with the community. Science has said the brain does not create anew. What the brain does is it recognizes that which it knows and creates structure around it. And that which it knows is frequency. That's why we have EKGs in the heart and EEGs in the brain. I forget which is which, because there's always frequency there. So we're either in low frequency of the pain of the past, which is the egoic energy, the low frequency, or we're in high frequency, which is the divine energy that landed in our body when we were born and was blown out with our first breath and will leave with our last. So when we are in conscious awareness, we're working from the high frequency energy. And that, for most people, is a choice because our frequencies change moment to moment throughout the day. And most people just walk through the world, and however they're feeling, and then they deal with it. But what we do as spiritual beings is we have practices and we choose to become aware. We choose to work from the high frequency energy. When you do that, you are actually embodying your spiritual beliefs and practices. So there are times when we come to spirituality where we might be newer to it and we're interested in reading and going to workshops, all of which are important. And that information informs because it carries vibration and we shift and we change. But there comes a time for people on a path where the books are great, the workshops are helpful, even working with a teacher like myself is a wonderful thing to do. But there comes a time where spirit grabs you, like really grabs you, and you know the time is now for me to be in the third dimensional world, the values that I believe, the values that mean so much to me, and I want to embody them. And that's when you start to live those values by first step is usually becoming consciously aware of how you be. And that means you're no longer floating through the world allowing things that land to change your emotional state. You're not allowing the ego, the past pain, to color and create and live in your energy and live in your body as an energy field so that the brain can create structure, thoughts, and feelings around it. No, you become very aware as you be. You watch yourself. And whenever you're watching your your life stream move through the world, you're always in high frequency because the high energy of love, the spiritual content within us, that frequency, that high frequency, is the only aspect of your being that can watch any other aspect. The ego has no capacity to understand, let alone see, anything other than itself. The personality is just what's developed within you. Those are descriptive words that we use to talk about ourselves or others. Our physical body doesn't have the capacity to watch anything else. Our history in this body is just a lot of frequency of experiences. It is only the highest frequency of who we are that can observe what's happening with the other aspects. So when you're walking through your day, witnessing as you be, noticing what the emotional body's doing, checking in with the ego, looking at the personality, you are always in high frequency.
That is so beautifully said and so on point that it's exciting to be able to have these type of conversations and not feel what I want to say, not feel as though I'm on the outside, but really understanding I'm on the inside of what's unfolding. I know you spoke earlier about the numerology. I do love numerology. I don't understand all of it, but numbers speak to me quite frequently. And it's amazing that as the more I started to observe when it was happening, the more that it expanded. And it reminds me that that's the process of everything in life. The more we give attention to something, the more it grows. And so, as consciousness now, there's so much consciousness that is giving so much attention to love, to light, to higher frequency, that that is expanding even in the midst of what some people think is a dark day, is a dark year. It is this awareness that there is, we need both in order for the expansion to fully give birth. And so living in a consciousness of awareness really allows us to live in a state of freedom, which is power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And what you just shared, the truth you just shared, is gold. When you said our awareness, what we put our awareness on grows. It's so true. Spirit has always shared, we are our awareness. An awareness is the high frequency energy of the divine. It came in to be seen, to shift, to grow, and what we put our attention on grows. So, just kind of amping up to, backing up to what you just shared, which was so beautiful. When we are walking through our daily life in consciousness, in that high frequency, we're putting that into the field. So
Yes.
that's going to continue to grow. And that is the biggest gift that anyone listening to this information can bring to our world to combat, to add to the field when there is so much darkness around. And it costs us nothing but our willingness. It never leaves us. That choice is always there, regardless of how many months or days or years you chose not to engage.
Yes.
It's always there for you. The source is always there. Very often students will say, oh my gosh, I think if I change this, spirit will come in more. Well, spirit is always coming in. It's us choosing to not allow the distractions in the third dimensional world and the distraction of the ego to block out that awareness. And it's very often people will listen to what we're saying and get really jazzed by it. And then they say, well, but how do I do this? How do I walk in awareness? And that's one of the things we're going to be working with very actively during our all-day workshop on Saturday when I come to the center. So if you're interested in this, we're going to be teaching you how to walk in awareness in your daily life. And what I can share with you now is that experiencing the difference between the low level energy and high frequency is easy because it's our emotional body that is the vehicle within us that gives us the alerts that we're out of alignment with our highest frequency. If you're stressed, if you're feeling irritated, if you're jealous, if you're coveting, if you're angry, those are indications, impatience, intolerance, that you're out of alignment with the high frequency and you're not moving in conscious awareness, because conscious awareness doesn't allow for those states. And in the third dimensional world, we can't be in low frequency and high at the same time. You can't go upstairs and down at the same time. You can't be sick and well. And you can't be in low frequency and high, right? So if you're experiencing any of those low frequency states, you need to go through a process to shift your frequency so that you're back at high frequency. But the idea of awareness, that's the first step to knowing whether or not your frequency needs to be changed. So living in conscious awareness, our first step is to check in, to notice where we are in our energy, and our emotional body is one of the greatest tools for that. Allows us to witness as we be.
I absolutely love and adore that. And our time is coming close to the end. And so I want to share with everyone again that Selena will be here in San Diego in March 9th. She'll be our guest speaker for our gathering. We will have something on Awakening Wednesday, and then that 15th and 16th, the weekend for the 2-day workshop will be powerful. So if you're a person that you're finding yourself, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, and you get frustrated, the more tools you have to help you anchor yourself. And number one, as that beautiful quote, we have so much love to give. Give some to yourself. It's all part of the process. Sometimes we kick ourselves out of bounds just because we're upset with where we are. When you know, as Celine has said, Spirit will never, ever, 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 ever leave you. Doesn't matter. Never, ever. And so you always have things available for you. You always have source available for you. And as we are living consciousness, as we are becoming more aware of who we are and how we are creating in this global span of life, there are a lot of things that are new. We're learning and we're growing, and consciousness is expanding. So in this process, giving yourself some love, appreciating where you are right now, and appreciating what can be, just loving yourself. I think that's one of the things I had this beautiful epiphany a little bit after Christmas, that I realized that I had not at that point in my life ever appreciated myself. Not appreciated the things that I had done, not appreciated where I was. And it brought me to tears that I hadn't taken the time to appreciate the things that I had accomplished. I just moved right on to the next one. And so as I have found for myself, as the more I dive in deep into this work, the more I see that the love of self just bubbles up to the top, and it helps you recognize that you are a divine, loving presence, and you are here on purpose. You are here on purpose. And so it's been so powerful, and working with Selena has been an amazing gift for me, working with her tools, and I'm so excited that she's coming to town. And we want to pack this house. We want to fill it out. So you tell your friends, you tell your coworkers, you tell everyone. This is an opportunity to come and be with a teacher that is living, and that is living at this high level frequency that can open some doors for you. Selena?
Beautiful, Gina. Oh, So gorgeous. Thank you so much. I have an affirmation. Do we have time for me to
Yes,
share that?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
super. Because I'd love it just you such a beautiful lead into this as well, because it's all about loving ourselves. This is so great. So let me share this with you now. I am powerful and able. I am successful. I am whole and complete. The universe supports me. My body is filled with energy and vitality. I am light. I am buoyant. Natural well being flows through me. All I desire is in reach. I am a powerful, loving creator in this world. I, forg- I forgive myself. Today I begin life anew. Joy and love flow from me as from a fountain. Love is in my heart as I meet each situation, each person. I move out into this world now with love. Love in my heart for all, love in my heart for me. I can and will succeed with love, and I am now discovering this. I am persistent. I have tenacity, and the will to succeed supports me totally. I persist and I succeed. Barriers have become my education. I experience obstacles as opportunities which lie on my path to success. I am an energetic alchemist. The power of the universe manifests through me now. My actions are decisive. I walk in power, in love, and I affirm all life with my life. This is a beautiful, beautiful affirmation that was created by my teacher, Mother Hope. I'll send it to Gino so she can post it.
I
But
would
the
love
words
that.
are powerful.
Yes.
I will absolutely do that for you. Thank
W-
you. Thank you for everything you shared today. Such beautiful wisdom.
Look, talking about numerology, we're ending right on 222.
Oh,
The G babies, the angels are all over us. Wow, Selena, that was so beautiful. Please send that to me. I will post it on our webpage. And for those of you, we will be dark in February. All of Wednesday will be dark, but have no fear. Selena will be popping in and sharing with us throughout our Sunday gatherings, and then she will be here in the house in March. So March 9th, she will be our guest speaker. That will be the start of it, and then she will take on that week. So excited to have you. Selena, thank you for all the
oh,
work that you
pleasure.
do and for
Oh,
all the work that
pleasure.
you've done with me. I appreciate you more than words can say.
Thank you, Gino. I appreciate you. And I got a request. Can I be a Sunday greeter? Ever since I've seen that you have people that greet people, can I be a Sunday greeter when I come?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. Ever since I've seen that, I was so like, what a wonderful thing to do. And I thought, gosh, if I lived in San Diego, I could be a member and I could be a Sunday greeter. So I'm so pumped that I get to be a Sunday greeter. I'm so happy. I know it's silly, but I love
Love
that.
that.
Thank you.
Love that. That is so awesome. So, have a great rest of your week. We will be in touch. And thank you, thank you, thank you, Selena, for all you do for your light and love.
Thank you, Gino, for all you do for your light and love. I can't wait to see you in 3D.
I
Thanks, everybody,
know.
for listening in. And go out and be a conscious creator. Go out and live in your conscious awareness and
Love
see the
that.
difference this month might bring.
I love that. I love that. That's super awesome. Well, I want to say thank you again, and it is our conscious giving time. Selena's just powerful. And for all of you out there in our virtual community, your love and appreciation through our QR codes, every time we hear the ding, 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 it is powerful and wonderful. We thank you for all your love and light that you share with us. We could not do what we do without you. And so in all that love and light, we appreciate everything. And as you know, we give back 10% globally to different communities, different organizations. And we believe that as we receive, we give. As we give, we receive. And it is a part of who and what we are. So thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, you know that we're moving. Any volunteer, we have lists here at the center that you can sign up. I think there's something going on pretty much every day. Thank you again for being with us. Have a beautiful, blessed day. And once again, as Selena has said, the importance of living in the conscious awareness. That's your charge.